Hey, what is up guys, it's Mordant. So, Arknights Endfield just recently started its second beta, and I personally don't know if I'm going to be covering this game, but I did want to make this video for people who will probably be confused about how the gacha works. It's something that you will definitely struggle with if you're coming from Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves. So in this video, I'll take my time to try to explain it to the best of my ability. Now, please note, I didn't play the original Arknights, which probably will make it easier for me to understand, but I will try my best to make sure that you guys can understand what exactly I'm talking about. So, with that said, let's get into the video. So, the first place where I think everybody who comes from Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves will immediately get confused on is the rarity of characters and weapons in this game. So let me fully explain this. In Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves, you would have 3 different rarities of characters and weapons. You would have 3 stars, 4 stars, and 5 stars. In Arknights Endfield, at least in this second beta, what you have are 4 stars, 5 stars, and 6 stars. So if I were to convert this to Wuthering Waves and Genshin logic, your 3-star characters would be 4 stars in Arknights Endfield. Your 4-star characters in Genshin or Wuthering Waves would be 5 stars in Arknights Endfield, and your 5-star characters in Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact would be 6 stars in Arknights Endfield. This point should be pretty easy for you to understand. It may take a little bit of getting used to, but you will get used to it eventually. Now, moving on from rarities, let's now talk about the banners. And before I actually get into the banner specifics themselves, I want to make you guys understand one thing. In Arknights Endfield, at least this second beta, you cannot get weapons from the character banners. For the character banners, you will only get characters. Let me repeat this again. You don't get weapons from the character banner. You will only get characters from the character banners. How do they work? So, in Arknights Endfield, every poll is called a headhunt, and you can do a single headhunt or you can do 10 headhunts, which is essentially 1 poll or a 10 poll. Every time you do a 10 poll on a character banner, you will get 10 characters, and every 10 poll guarantees you 1 5-star character. It's basically the same thing as Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact, where every 10 poll will get you 3-star weapons, but then it does guarantee you a 4-star item, which might be a 4-star weapon or a 4-star character. I think this is very straightforward for you to understand. But now, in order to get a 6-star character, which would be a 5-star character in Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact, you would need to do 80 polls. That is the hard pity. 80 polls is the hard pity. But soft pity starts at 65. And after 65 polls, the chance for you to get a 6-star character gradually starts to increase. Now, let's say you don't get the 6-star character and you get all the way to hard pity. You will then have to deal with a 50-50, and you have a 50% chance to either get the featured 6-star character or another 6-star character on the banner. But do not fret, it does not mean that you need to spend 160 polls in order to guarantee a character. If you lose your 50-50, you can then spend only 40 polls. Only 40 polls to then get the character guaranteed. So in total, what you need is just 120 polls in order to guarantee the character on the banner. Now, this technically might be a good thing, but the issue is we don't know how generous the game is going to be. We don't know how frequently you will get the pulling currency from the game in order to be able to actually guarantee these characters. So that remains to be seen. The video isn't here to talk about all of these things. Like I said, I don't fully understand everything. I'm just explaining the bits of information that I personally understand. But with that said, let's now talk about weapons. So I've already mentioned that you can't get weapons from the character banner. So how exactly do you get weapons in this game? So there is a separate menu for getting weapons, and you have different ways of getting weapons in this screen. One of them is to buy the weapons directly, and there are different options for buying weapons. There are weapons that refresh daily, there are some weapons that will probably refresh weekly, and others that will probably refresh monthly. And then you have a gacha section inside where you can actually gacha for weapons, and you can also go for 5-star, 4-star, and 6-star weapons. Now, the currency that you need to actually do pulling on the weapon banner in Arknights Endfield is called Arsenal tickets. And you get these Arsenal tickets every time you do a temple on the character banner. So let me quickly explain how this works. Every time you do a temple on the character banner and you get a 4-star character, you get 50 Arsenal tickets. So every 4-star character gives you 50 Arsenal tickets, no matter whether you're getting them for the first time or if you're getting a duplicate of the character. Every 5-star character gets you 500 Arsenal tickets. And for 6-star characters, I wasn't really clear on this. I didn't see anybody that actually pulled a 6-star, so I don't know what exactly they get. But if I do see it while I'm editing, I'll put it up on screen for you guys to see. But then you use these Arsenal tickets to then go into the weapon gacha, and then you can pull for weapons with it, or you can just straight up buy the weapons that you need in this screen. When it comes to the weapon banner itself, let's talk about how the weapon banner itself works. So on the weapon banner, you need 2,980 Arsenal tickets in order to be able to do a temple. And essentially, you'll get a few of these by the time you've gotten your first 6-star character. Whether or not you lose your 50-50, I think you should already have a temple ready by that time. Now, as for whether you get a guaranteed 5-star weapon whenever you do a temple, I'm not really clear on that. That's something that I struggled to understand for a little bit of time, but I think that might be the case. Now, hear me out. This is total speculation. I am not sure about this part of the video. I don't know whether you actually are guaranteed a 5-star weapon for every temple, but I did find a post on Reddit that was talking about this, and they mentioned that after 4 temples, which is essentially 40 pulls on the weapon banner, you will enter soft pity territory, and then when you get to 80 pulls, which is 8 temples, then you will hit hard pity and you will get a 6-star weapon. So I guess that by this logic, every time you do a temple, you will get a 5-star weapon. It's probably going to be the exact same thing as the character banner, but like I said, I am not sure. The only thing I'm sure of is just the soft pity and the hard pity. I am not sure of anything else. Now, aside from all of this, there are a ton of other things that are in this system that I have not covered. There are things like certificates that you can use to actually buy duplicates of characters, and a ton of other things that I did not cover because I personally don't understand these systems, and I don't think they're really important for you to understand right now. The most important thing for you to understand right now are the basics, and that's essentially what I've gone over. And this is assuming that the gacha system that is here in this CBT actually carries through to the global launch. Let's all keep in mind that this gacha system could change eventually. One note before I actually leave, I talked about how you are guaranteed a character at 120 pulls. This will only happen once on the character banner. I forgot to mention this in the character banner section, so I want to mention it now. And I also pinned this down in the comments because I'm very sure a lot of people are not going to get to this part of the video, but you will only be able to get the character guaranteed at 120 pulls only once. And the second thing is that your pity does not carry over. So if you were at 70 pulls and you still hadn't gotten the 6-star character, when the next banner rolls around, you are not doing a temple to get another character. But that's essentially it. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Please leave your thoughts down below, and also subscribe to the channel for Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Azure Premier, NTE and Ananta, challenge videos, guide videos, and occasional fun videos that I'll try from time to time. Also join the hideout on Discord, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.